Hey, I'm Dan, and this is Dan's Planes. Okay, the fun continues on my P-40. I'm following a guy who got great results with this gun with an air pressure monitor on it. He said the reservoir is a little small, but he got fantastic results with his airplane. And I saw his plane and it looked professionally done in the pictures I could see. This is part number 61473. This says 1 to 6 gallon air compressor not recommended. So that means my little 0.8 airbrush compressor is not going to work. So 7 to 29 gallons that you could do intermittent, and 30 plus gallons continuous. Well, I know continuous would be like doing a car, but I didn't know about spraying all along a wing. And if I follow this guy's example, he supposedly can rotate it around and get both sides of the wing in one shot. So I need to see how that's done. But anyway, I didn't want to risk buying one that would only go intermittent and then find out I don't have enough power. So I went and picked this up yesterday. This is a 33 gallon used Craftsman. So I found there are a lot of them out there for 20 to 27 gallons, and they're used, but they look pretty new, and they go for 150, 160 bucks. This 33 gallon, I was able to pick up for 130 bucks. Now it sucked. It was an hour and 15 minutes away, but you know, that's thankfully Atlanta traffic was light, so it was a pretty easy drive, but you know, spend a little bit of time to save some money and get a bigger compressor. So that's what I chose to do. So now I can do anything I want except move this bad boy because it's about twice as heavy as I am. But I should have no problem spraying the wings and the fuselage now. Okay, so I've been moving forward on the fiasco that has been Clearcoat for me, using Clearcoat, part A, part B, and thinner. So I've got the first coat on. I've read different things about starting with 1 or 2 mist coats and then going wet. I've also read about just going wet. I went in the middle of that, I think. They said to make sure you're not blowing so much air that the product is basically drying up and falling on the wings, but I think that's more for paint that dries, not a 2-part that cures. So I think I'm going to be fine there. I got as much of the top side, of course, and then the undersides that I could. So I first mixed up part A, part B, and I used 3 of each of this size cup. And then I didn't measure how much thinner I put in. I mixed it without the thinner. I just put part A, part B, mixed it, let it sit for the 30 minutes you're supposed to, then put thinner in it, mixed all that up. And then while the 30 minutes while I was waiting for that, I looked at how I could hook up my new intermediate filter that I'm going to put on the air compressor, and I'm short a 2-way male nipple to be able to put it in line. So also the last time I ran it when I was here just to run it and fiddle with the control, the pressure knob, I decided, as used as it looks, it probably had not been drained. So I messed with this, I guess you call it plug, on the bottom, and it has a hole in the center of it. And now that I break the air compressor back out and go to use it, I can't get the air to stop leaking out of the center hole. So I have, here we go. I've screwed in the brass hollow nut, and the air, as you screw it in, it seems more air comes out. You screw it out and less air comes out, which is the exact opposite of what I would have expected to happen. So I don't understand why this is continuing to leak air through the center hole. I could use some help here from the comment gallery if anybody has an idea. So then I'm running this up to try to get about 140, 150 pounds of pressure in it. And I go to run it, and it will not completely run and trip my breaker like this. Just like that. And then if I waited a while and came back to it, then it may or may not run. But I finally got it to run and run up to about 140 pounds. No. I think it was 120, 125 pounds with that leak in the bottom too. And thankfully that was enough to spray with, because I didn't want to throw away my whole batch, of which I mixed way too much because I didn't know how much to put on there. So I'm doing a whole lot of mixing and throwing away of this product. But I probably used, on this jar, I probably used maybe this much to coat the entire top side of the wings and top side of the fuselage, then the underside of the tail and the underside of the wings that I could reach. So this was way, way, way too much. Here's what I've had to do to extend from here out to where I can take this filter and screw it on without hitting the tank. So I went to Lowe's and got a T-fitting for the length, and went ahead and threw on another quick disconnect. I mean, I'm never going to need 3 quick disconnects, I don't think, but it's on there. Then I put a coupler in here, then put on the filter, then put another coupler, and then put another, well, the quick disconnect that was originally on there. So I believe the instructions manual said to go up to 125 pounds max. I let it go almost to 130 because I was waiting for it to cut off, and it did not cut off manually. Also, it leaked pretty quick from the 130 down to this about 120 mark. Now it's leaking slowly. I don't hear air anywhere. I could do the dish soap and water test, but I'm not worried about it. It's a slow enough leak. So I should be ready to spray Clearcoat on the bottom of the P-40. It looks like there's a 50% chance of rain here this afternoon, so I didn't check the weather for tomorrow. I may do that. I don't want to run into rain. Here I am set to do Clearcoat today on the bottom of the wing and fuselage. And I ran the air compressor yesterday, ran it up to 130 pounds to see if it was going to shut off by itself, because it's not supposed to be more than 125 pounds max. It did not shut off. I thought I had found the problem with the air compressor not starting. The problem being that the motor was overheating and there's a sensor in there, so it wouldn't let it start. But now I'm trying to start it fresh today, and it won't work and it's tripping the breaker. So again, more issues trying to get this clear coat on. It's just been nothing but a pain in the ass every which way I turn. So I hope 100 pounds is going to be enough to spray this. I don't know. I'll let you know. I got the clear coat on the bottom. I had mixed enough material to where I used it all. I was at, what was this? It's on the other side. I probably did 18 milliliters per part. And then I just did probably 4 or 5 drops of thinner. And it took, I think this was just below 120, so I think it took just under 30 pounds to spray. So I should have enough to spray. Let's see if it'll turn on. Nope. Nope, won't turn on. But I sprayed at 40 pounds pressure too. So give this 2 hours to dry. I might have enough to make one more batch, and then I'll be out of material. So I'll try that. I'll mix it up in an hour and a half, so I'll be ready at 2 hours, the cure time for this, so I can spray. Here is the SkyShark P-40 after applying the clear matte, which basically you can't tell, but I'll show it anyway because it was such a freaking fiasco to get done. I'll still show it. I've done a fuel test where I've taken some gasoline and rubbed it first on some inconspicuous spots and then on some little more conspicuous spots, and it's not removing the paint. So I think we've got a good clear coat. So that means the gear is ready to go back in because I've received one of the gears back from Daryl at Sierra. He had to replace the piston. So put the gear back in, and then it's ready to run to break in the engine. So we are getting that much closer to getting this thing done. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Dan from Dan's Planes. I just want to share some content about RC planes, something I've been passionate about since childhood. I'm hoping I can teach something to someone, I can start some discussion and learn some things from others. So let's just have some fun and learn some things together. If you enjoyed what you watched, it would really help me out if you could like, subscribe, and share. And if you feel that it helped you out in some way, or it might help future viewers, I'd really appreciate it if you'd visit my Patreon page and become a patron. It's like throwing a $1 tip into a guitar case when you pass by. It helps to fund future content and future projects that I'll be working on. I plan to show some past content. I have some other flights and I have some fly-in events that I've been to. And I also plan to show future flights and future repairs, as well as building ARFs, and if I can ever get back to it, building my top flight Spitfire. So there's a lot of content to come, but it's viewers like you that are able to support what I'm doing, and by doing that, I'm able to spend more time creating that content in the future. So I'd really appreciate it. But either way, thanks for watching, and thanks for any support, and I wish you blue skies and good speed.